In this video, we will see how this vertex normal works. So, as the name is vertex normal gives you the normal of vertex in the world space. Like if you have a mesh, like you have this sphere, and I press Ctrl E to edit. We have this sphere mesh, and in show here, if you see the normals, this is the normal. So every face is facing especially the vertex because it's showing the vertex facing for vertex normal. So every vertex, and if I just show the vertices also, so here's my vertex and here's the angle it is facing outward. Okay, so the facing angle will give this node will give you that angle in materials so that you can access, and you can use this vertex normal in pixel shader also, and in fragment means you can use it to change the color or anything in your material, or you can also use it to modify the vertex of your mesh. So like if you want to see how it looks, I preview it, it gives you the color of RGB according to the facing angle. And one use is can be if you have a dot, but to understand this thing you need to understand the dot first. That we will cover later. I'm just showing you the output, then we will use it. Mainly we use it in world position offset usually, so it will give you this thing. So basically what is doing, vertex normal giving you one angle, out surface, outer angle, and then this camera facing is giving you this angle, and this dot is giving you the third perpendicular angle. So if let me open the paint. So basically if you have x and you have y, so the dot will give you the z, this axis. Okay. And similarly, if you have the x and z, it will give you the perpendicular a third angle. So that's what it does. But I'm just showing you. So you can also use the power here to increase the black part like this. But we will understand that later. But the main use I do is for world position offset. So if I directly connect it, nothing will happen. See, nothing will happen with this mesh. But if I multiply it to increase the value of these and increase the value maybe 10, you will notice this sphere will scale little bit. If I make it 100, I'm not zooming my viewport, but still my mesh is scaling up because every vertex is offsetting from the current position to the 100 units. Okay. And similarly, if I decrease the value, it will scale it down, but at a certain point, it will not look good. So let me make the instance of this. So this is my WPO. I'll just connect it here, save it, and make an instance of this. So basically, if you have this sphere, you can increase this value or decrease this value. Here at this point is inverted the mesh. And if you have any mesh that has the sharp edges like this box, and then you will increase the value, it will separate those faces. You can see all faces are now separated because all are trying to move on their the normal direction. So these cannot be connected. Similarly, if you take the cylinder, the caps will disconnect, but this cylindrical thing will scale up like this. Let me make it two-sided. Now you can see better. Okay. And if you take a planar, it will just move to that direction. Okay. So let's say you have this. So this is the one thing you can scale up your mesh little bit. and it's just scaling on the surface. So like it is different from the normal scaling. So if you have any complicated mesh, like let me just take a new level, and you have this mesh, okay? I'll show you an example. And this mesh is gray, and I want same mesh that has the green color or other color, and that is a little bit like a skin of this character. So what we can do, so like I take a material color and I just put a color here, maybe greenish. And then I'll duplicate this character, Control D, and both character are on the same place. Okay, and in the character 2, I apply this material, and if I disable the first one, you can see we have almost the same position. Actually, the same position. So if you scale this green character from here, you lock this and you scale. It's a scaling from the pivot. It's not looking like it is skin of that character. Okay, so in that case, you can use vertex normal. So I reset the scaling, and in this the green color, let's use this one, vertex normal, and I also take the green color in this one, and I just connect it here. So we have this parameter here. So now in the second character, instead of this color, I apply this vertex normal instance. Okay, and you can see already because we have some values here. If I make this 0, it looks like this. We can decrease it and increase it. So every face vertex moving to the vertex normal direction, and this is very useful to make effects like this. So like you want to burn the character, and inside there you want the other skin or material you want to show, then you can also do that. Okay, so like if I want to wipe it also, you can see the difference. So let me take the bound, and don't think about these nodes, although I have a separate video on this, but just focus what is doing this node. Okay, so I just quickly take the step node and take the Z channel, the blue, and this is my step to dissolve it, and I just take this mask and connect this here and just save it. So now if I make this 1, and if I decrease this, you can see how it's working. So if I increase my this thing, you can understand now, you can see this properly. There's an offset between these two. So 0 means it's there, and when you will increase, it is like this. Okay, so you understand now how this vertex normal works, and I'll show you more examples of it. So let this open, and here I don't need this thing now, so we have just the color. So like we use this value to scale this overall. If you want to not scale overall, you want to just some part to scale, you can do that also. Like we use this thing to step to for the opacity. You can also multiply this thing here with vertex normal. So this thing is giving you black and white thing. If I make this 0.5 half, white means this vertex normal is working there, 0 means it's not working there. And I connect, and if I save this now, so now here in the viewport, if I show you 50, so you can see this character is fatty from that area. See, and you can also see in this sphere how it's working. The vertex normal is working only those part, those are offsetted. And you can also make that like -5, so it will be inside. Okay, still working like this. Okay, so next thing, let's say you're not using this thing and you have this gradient and then uh, add time on it and then take the sine. So you will have some line strips like this, and you can multiply it with here. And if I save, this is what it's doing. So I make it like 20, 50. Okay. So now we are not using it anymore on character. Now we will see how it's working here. So you can see, you can make this type of blobby cool blobby effect. And you can also multiply this to make the tiling. So if I multiply it like 5, you have these 5 lines. Let's save this. And now you can see. Cool. So basically, you just need a black and white thing, and that black and white thing, if you multiply with the vertex normal, the white part, vertex normal will work, black will not. So the example, like you have a noise texture, and let's say you have aura actually, and this aura preview like this. If I preview, and let's connect this here also, so you can see things happening. Okay, so I want just the white part to offset on the vertex normal, so I can just multiply it with the vertex normal and just hit save. So now here, if I increase the value, you will notice only white part now offsetted. And you can also make it negative, so white part will go down. Okay. And when you will edit your texture, panning or tiling, it will reflect here. So like you have this pan here, 0.5, let's say you have 20 value here, you can see that here, or maybe 100. Oh, I'm previewing it actually. See, that is panning. You can also pan in different axes. You can also take the texture coordinate, and if you will repeat it like 2 and 2, it will reply because the the white part will multiply with that. Okay, so you can use the different textures and it will work the same. See, any texture you can take, like if I take this one, the white part is offset, or this one. So basically, this is what it does. Okay. And one more thing, let's say you have a noise and you have this faded one, and you can also use power here to fade it. So that will also work like intensity. So let's make a power node here and connect. So basically the power is 0 by default. Let's make it 1. We have this thing, okay? And if I'm increasing the power, you will see only we have some spots now. I can decrease it or increase it. Okay. So you can also edit your texture like this. And then you can also mask this noise. So you will have a better idea. So like you have the bound and then I take the power here, then multiply it with this texture. So this is my wipe. Save. So now with this node, we can wipe this. So we have just the upper part. Okay. Like this. And if you decrease this, it will animate like this. So you can use it like if I invert it, so it will be like if I invert it here. Okay. Now this will be down. So it is like you have that ice effect. So it is melting ice. Although there should not be any panning, you can make it almost zero. Okay, so now you have this like a ice effect like this. Cool. You can use anything like this character control B and I will visualize it here. So you can see, but depending on the vertex and everything, it will work differently. Okay. So this is how it works. I hope I have shown you the many examples. You understand it now. Basically, it will move your vertex on the vertex normal, and if you have a texture, it will mask that out. Thanks for watching. Keep learning. Bye bye.